And our top three then, let's give you a rundown. Magic Buchanan has an 8-second advantage over Blair Grills in the McLaren. Then we have Alex Afro in P3 with Cena all over his tail. And Dan, are we going to see a change of position for P number 3?
I think we might be about to. Alex Afro has gone really wide there, but Cena might be able to go around the outside. This is going to get a bit punchy, and leaves still around the outside Cena, but in the end Alex Afro does manage to defend him off then. So everybody's now made the stops at this stage, and that, what you see on the screen, is a real order really after pit stop. So Chris Johnson's spin really did affect them, because of course now Dom is ahead, but Bazza of course had that moment which cost them positions, and then as Mike
there goes Cena. Oh, he really thought about it. He got all crossed up, and Alex Afro defended with all his might, and this isn't helping Dom Smith, because he's about to join the back of these two, battling away, and with just 6 laps to go, he's got to find nearly 14 seconds to catch Magic Buchanan. I don't see it happening, Dan.
No, I can't see it happening now. The Magic Buchanan has really had that solid pace, hasn't he, from when he put those mediums on. But he's still got to do 5 laps on them. They might go, I suppose. They could drop off at a dramatic race. Dom then, on these fresh mediums, is this going to be an opportunity for him to get past Cena? Cena's got DRS. It's a bit of a DRS train. Can he still go for the position? No, he can't.
No, thinks better of it. And all this time is allowing Magic Buchanan to go a little bit easier on those tyres now. He's got the track position. He's got an 8.5 second lead over Blair Grills and a fabulous P2 at the moment. And then we've got this battle for P3. And as Dan said, this is 4 position. This is on the road. All pit stops taken into account. And Chris Johnson is just 4.5 seconds back from these guys. So if they keep battling as hard as they are, he could be sucked back into this battle as well.
And Chris Johnson's on the hard tyres as well, of course. They'll have a lot of life still left in them. Alex Afro and Cena both also on the hards. Of course, Cena pitted on the 2nd safety car lap, didn't he? And this is Dom's opportunity now, surely. He's got to run. Cena tries to defend it. Oh, Dom's on the grass, but can he still make the move? It'd be brilliant if he does. He's going to go round the outside. He's going to use the new turn 10 sort of there and makes the position.
Oh, he gives it back.
And Cena gets it straight back, yeah.
I think Dom conceded that. He's going to go straight on the attack again. Then Dom into turn number 12. And he has to back out of it then. And getting quite feisty now, Dom. He realises this is his opportunity, but he lost a second in the last lap to Magic Buchanan.
He did indeed. I think Dom might be a bit frustrated with Cena, because of course Cena was the guy who sort of got in his way in qualifying as well, and he's way too far back to have a go this time around. Alex Afro, meanwhile, well, he'll be enjoying seeing those two battle. At the moment, he's still on. Well, he's got a penalty, in fact, so he's going to have to try and pull a gap out, and he's just nearly lost the car. And in fact, it might give Cena an opportunity now into turn 4.
Oh, and here goes Dom. Here goes Dom. He had a run, and unfortunately, he committed too early. And Cena was enough to defend it. And Cena's going to try and hold it to the inside. Dom's on the grass. Dom Smith is almost round, and he held it. And how did he manage that? But look who's behind him. Look who's joined back in with this again, Dan. It's Chris Johnson.
Well, that worked well for Chris Johnson then, didn't it? Dom done very well, as you say, to keep it on the road. And let's see once again if Dom on those medium tyres can still close in relatively quickly, even with the dirt on his rear tyres at this stage, as Cena is right on Alex Afro. Now, is he going to go for 3rd place?
Yeah, here we go. He's going to try and go the long way round on Alex Afro. Alex Afro just about enough, and he squeezes him on the exit as well. This is hard racing. Alex Afro, it's worth mentioning as well, he has a 3-second penalty. So he's got to be mindful of that in all this defending, because at the end of the day, the more he backs them up, the more positions he'll use once the penalty is applied. Dom's got a penalty as well.
He has. Dom also gets a penalty then. So 3-second penalty for Dom. That's not good for him, and Chris Johnson will have very much enjoyed that. Baz is also beginning to close in as well to these guys.
Oh, and here both of them go. Sure. And Dom's trying to go up the inside of them both, but thinks better of it. And Alex Afro's made contact with Cena, sliding across the road, and it's let Cena go, and it's going to let Dom go as well on the inside, is it? No, Dom gets on the grass. Disastrous for Dom. The race is slipping away in front of him because there's just 3 laps to go.
Probably benefit at the end of this race from penalties, although he might be able to get the move done on Dom now without penalties. Now he still has to stay behind. We've got a card off. I think it's a Alpha Tauri further down the field. So yeah, Magic Buchanan 9 seconds ahead now. He is loving life, and it's all this big battle now for 3rd place. 4th place, I suppose, because Cena's beginning to pull away.
And also it's worth mentioning as well, battery usage, as Dom still piling the pressure as much as he can on Alex Afro. Chris Johnson's battery has got a lot of juice left in it as Dom tries to go around the outside of Alex Afro. That's a nice move from Dom Smith there. And now he has to set his sights on Cena to get ahead of him and pull 3 seconds in just over 2 laps.
Well, all that carnage let Bazza close in by about 2 seconds in that lap alone. So Bazza's going to be right on Chris Johnson now for DRS as well. But of course, Chris Johnson will also have DRS on Alex Afro. That's a great exit out the final corner there for Alex Afro. And Dom is immediately on Cena for third place here. And he's going to have to try and pull 3 seconds afterwards. Can he go for it? Can he get the position?
He's certainly going to think about it on the brakes into turn number 1. Cena holds it round the outside. That's a fantastic move in itself from Cena there to hold on to P3. But Dom's not done yet. Is there going to be a move into turn number 4? Dom to the inside, up the inside of the Red Bull driver. Cena still hangs on round the outside. This is absolutely relentless defence from Cena. He's doing a great job.
It's unbelievable stuff, isn't it? And still he can't get through. And Alex Afro was also getting under threat there from the 2 Mercedes. And look at Bazza! Bazza's trying to go with Chris Johnson. He's through.
Unbelievable stuff. He's not helping his teammate out there in the championship as Dom Smith has now got past Cena. But was it before or after the DRS detection? Cena's got the DRS back.
This is unbelievable stuff. I'm actually...
Oh,
and
there goes
Bazza's going
Bazza!
to go for Alex Afro. Oh, no, he doesn't. It was almost like Chris Johnson moved out the way there for Bazza, I'm not sure. I think he might have done. I think he might have realised that Bazza was on the fresher tyres, and despite being a championship contender, he moved out the way for his teammate there to see if he can get anywhere near close to the guys ahead of him.
Absolutely great drive from the McLaren driver. Bazza then in the wheel tracks of Alex Afro. Chris Johnson in the wheel tracks of his teammate. Are we going to see any changes of the order into turn number 1? Bazza's really late on the brakes. Bloody hell. I do not know how he got that stopped.
Yeah, that was really, really risky stuff there, wasn't it? And it's allowed Chris Johnson to just sail back through there. I don't think he'll let him through this time. Chris Johnson is still behind Alex Afro, but even if he doesn't get past him, he will get ahead of him with the penalty. Baz has also now got a penalty. And, Chris Johnson, taps the back of Alex Afro there. And is Cena going to be able to pull away to prevent Chris Johnson from getting past him? Dom, sorry, I meant.
We're going to have to go back to the front because while all this is going on, Magic Buchanan's just got a couple of corners to go. We weren't sure if it was the right call for him to make on the strategy. He was aggressive into turn number 1. We said at the beginning of the show that it's normally the people on the front row who win the race around Spain. I didn't expect it to be Magic Buchanan after lap number 1, but he wins in the Alfa Romeo to close the gap a little bit on Chris Johnson, who has managed to take 2 places, Dan, on the last lap.
Yeah, he did, but he also got a penalty. So this is going to be a real position for him now, and Dom will be in third place. I think Cena's going to get third, isn't he? Yes, Cena will get third, Dom will be fourth. Chris Johnson will end up being fifth, and we're getting a penalty on the last lap. Bazza sixth, Alex Afro seventh. What a race that was. And Blake Grills, apologies to him because he had a great race and we didn't see much of it. Brilliant second place for him in the McLaren.
No, well, we weren't sure the medium tyres were going to last. They didn't have to worry about them lasting in the end. They got such a gap. They managed to work that second stint, so well. They managed to turn it around. Absolutely great stuff on their part, as you said. Kudos to the both of them for making that work.
Absolutely, and so Magic Poop Cannon will, I believe, close in 14 points. I think he's just gained on Chris Johnson in that race. Let's just see who got the fastest lap. It was Bazza who got the fastest lap, so Bazza will ultimately then get the same amount of points as Chris Johnson in that race, I believe, on that 118.2 fastest lap. What a fantastic race that was then. An incredible battle for the final podium positions at the end of the race. There was a lot of panicky moments there. There was a lot of moments where drivers nearly lost the car, but somehow managed to hold on to it. There was a lot of moments where drivers did lose the car, and that is the final result that you can see on your screen.
Brilliant stuff. What a great race we were treated to there, Dan. You hit the nail on the head there. Just so much action, so much going on as well in the subtext. Just a really good race, and a little bit of tough defence in areas as well there, shall we say. But I don't really understand quite how the Mercedes, having both been facing the wrong way at different points, ended up 5th and 6th. I don't really get that.
Yeah, it's it'll be interesting to watch.
It's a trait of Mercedes, really, isn't it?
As well, but Mercedes doing what they do best, I suppose, and managing to get the way through the field and somehow just be there up towards the front come the end.
Well, there you go. It's another win for Magic Poop Cannon, and he claws in 15 points
15
on Chris
points
Johnson. That was quick maths, that was mental maths there. That was That was almost quite good for a thicko like me. And Blair Grills, as we said, completely understated drive in P2. Great stuff from him. And Cena on the podium as well. So a good race supported by a good result as well. There we go then. I'll run down the order. So Magic Buchanan wins for Alfa Romeo. Blair Grills joins him on the podium, P2. Good result from him, starting 10th on the grid. Cena was 11th on the grid and ended up 3rd. Dom Smith, our race leader for most of the race, ended up P4. Chris Johnson P5. Baza P6. Alex Afro P7 from 19th on the grid. Mr. John P8. Jacko P9. Blown Wheel Nut running out the top 10 with Parza P11. It looked so good for him at one point. Seton Penguin P12, Sayer Sports P13, Angel vs Death P14, Stereogram 15th, Breezer 16th, Rebelcom 17th, Kaya 18th, and Indecisive Mackie in 19th.
So it's 163 points for Chris, 137 for Magic Poop Cannon, and 115 for Baza. So, as you say, 15 points closed in for Magic Poop Cannon, and Chris Johnson. Well, he's still got a comfortable lead, I suppose you could say, but it's less comfortable than it was half an hour ago. The gap down to 26 points, I believe.
Yeah, well, we were made to wait for that one, weren't we, Dan? But I think it was worth the wait.
Absolutely.
I still can't really get over Dom's start. It just sort of came out. It didn't look like he got away particularly spectacularly, but next thing you know, he was just there. He was just in P1 out of nowhere.
Yeah, and I just very quickly just noticed you've just changed the qualifying format to one shot for this race. So I don't know if that's because
the time
it took a
lost,
while
perhaps.
to get going. Yes, with Spain. So this will put even more pressure on the drivers to get the lap in.
Oh, Dan, what a treat! We get to commentate on a one-shot qualifying.
Yeah, never seen one of the. Well, I've personally never commentated on one of these in TGP. I've took part in one, I'm pretty sure, at some point down the line, but this is going to be interesting for all the drivers. One little mistake, one little corner cut, and that's it. You'll be starting at the back.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Well, we've got a treat coming up for you then. We're a one-shot qualifying session, a race around Brazil, which is always full of drama. I'm thinking back to last season when I crashed about 100 yards before the finish line. And who won last season? Was it Jack?
Can't quite remember. I could possibly be able to get it up though on
probably could.
YouTube
Probably could.
If I could find it. But yeah, I remember that when you were weaving across the line.
No, I've been over this. Funny, I had a Mackey's as well that night, and I reached for my drink and I knocked because it was basically straight, and I knocked the right or left analog stick, so it turned me left, and I overcorrected it, and I hit the wall. All right.
But
all right.
You were reaching for your drink, but you were 100 meters from the line.
Well, I was really thirsty. It was... Jack Pearson's just messaged me saying Luca won on the track, but it had penalties, so Jack won. There you go. Good stuff. Thanks, Jack Pearson. Yeah. Clearly wanted to gloat about that one. Was that his only win last season? No, it can't have been. No, he won again. Didn't he in China or something?
He had a few other races. Yeah. I particularly remember the one in Netherlands where he was right behind you for the race.
Oh, what a race that was!
I think you had a penalty, and
I had a 5-second penalty for speeding coming into the pit lane, and then he got a 3-second penalty, and it was just a game of cat and mouse. What? Yeah, I loved that race. What a great race that was.
And I think on the last lap you got DRS from a lapped car.
I did.
Just helped you, I believe, at the end to win the race. It's like a 31 race wins in total, of course, in TGP2 for you.
I know. That was 30 at that point. That was the race I broke the record.
Oh, and then
Sean Grant thankfully gifted me my 31st in Mexico. Forever. Oh, Dan. Oh, Dan.
Well, one shot quality in the rain as well. With good measure. Good luck, everyone.
Well, I think the phrase is insult to injury, isn't it, for some of these drivers? But
yeah.
We're going to be treated to a fantastic 3 minutes. I say 3 minutes. We've got Kim in the session. So what a good qualifying we got to come up. We've only got a few more seconds to wait. I don't really know how to follow this. I think we're just going to have to look on the left-hand side and just see how the order changes. Well, here we go.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big moment for the championship as well if one of the top guys mess it up here and have to start at the back.
Well, Bazza's leading after turn 1. No, Breezer's ahead. Now Dom's... Oh, no, I don't really know how we're going to do this. We're going to have to wait a couple of quarters for it to settle down, I think, a little bit, aren't we? Dom...
Yeah, definitely.
It seems to be okay at the moment. Say Sports up there in Magic Poop Cannon now.
Chris Johnson's only down in 15th at the moment. Red Bull Kim's out the session.
Don't have to wait 3 minutes. Unbelievable. Chris Johnson's now up to 6th. Alex
just gets around the lap. He'll start at the front row, possibly.
Oh, he's nearly lost it, and he's not far behind Magic Poop Cannon as well. Oh, it takes a little mistake. We've got one more straight to go. Are my shoes going to stay intact? Or is Magic Poop Cannon going to get his second pole of the night? Chris Johnson's up in P3. Here we go then, the run to the line. Who's got the least amount of wing on? Magic Poop Cannon does it by nearly a second in the end. My shoes are safe. And wow, what a great...
Angel versus Death on the
what
front
a
row,
story. That is
Incredible
absolutely fantastic. Michael Kenny, a TGP2 veteran, lines up on the front row in Brazil. And if this is a dry race, this could be absolutely chaotic. It just reminds me of... It's like when Valtteri Bottas lined up P3 in that wet qualifying session in Canada and then just went backwards during the race. I hope that doesn't happen to Michael. I really do.
I think he's going to be asking for one-shot quali every week, isn't he, after that?
I'm going to be asking for one-shot quali every week after that. That was absolutely brilliant. Well, let's give you a rundown of your qualifying order then, because we're going to have to, because I don't really know where anyone is. Magic Poop Cannon, your pole sitter, second tonight, nearly a second ahead of Michael Kenny in P2. Chris Johnson, championship leader P3. Alex Afro in P4. Let's hope for him he actually starts there in this race. Cena, your podium sitter from last time, P5. Bazza, P6. Mr. John in P7, Blair Grills in P8, Blown Wheel Nut P9, Jacko in P10, Mackie 11th, Stereogram 12th, Breezer 13th, Penguin 14th, and I don't have enough time to go to the bottom.
Well, the others were all the drivers who invalidated the lap times. It was likes of Dom, Parser,
all the ones that aren't really important then.
Well, Red Bull Kim and Say Sports were at the very back. It's the back row is a Ferrari row. This race.
And it looks like it's going to be dry to start. It's very cloudy, but I think it's going to be dry.
Yeah, who knows? We might get a bit of rain a bit later, perhaps. I'm not sure.
Well, we'll have to see what happens from the weather forecast that we don't have.
Might try to very quickly contact my source, but there's only 20 seconds.
Is your source a man stood in the field?
It's not. No, it's a man about to drive in 10 seconds' time, so I'm not sure I'll get a reply in time.
Damn the man. That's that's naughty.
We might just have to watch the clouds for this one.
Well, let's get our binoculars out. We won't have to get our binoculars out for the start, but everyone's eyes are going to be on Michael Kenny. I know that. We've got 5 lights in Brazil, and we're underway then, and it's a good start for Magic Poop Cannon. Chris Johnson seems to get away well as well. And on the run down to turn number 1 now, is Michael Kenny going to be aggressive? Yes, he is. And Chris Johnson goes to try to go around the outside, and there's contact between the Williams and the Mercedes, and Chris Johnson is up into P2.
Pivotal start then for Chris Johnson. He managed to get the head of Angel vs Death and is in P2. Can he go for Magic Poop Cannon? No, he can't. As the Joel jostling for position further behind, there was a guy going way off into turn 1. Alex Afro keeping 4th place, Cena keeping 5th, and Dom has gone up to 12th place. He's made 3 positions at the start. Yeah,
good stuff from Dom. Jose moving up some places as well. We've had Blair Grills go up 1 as well. Baz has stayed roughly whereabouts he is. Actually lost 1 to Mr. John, who's had a relatively good start. A big loser, Breezer, down 4 places to 17th, but it's pretty much as we were then towards the front of the field, which is not what I thought we'd be saying. And we've got Mr. John running a little bit wide there, and that could give an opportunity to Bazza as they come towards Zhongqiao, which is the only corner name I know around this track.
As Tom gets ahead of Jacko into 11th place, and of course that one-shot quali, just having a look to see if it allowed free tire choice.
Oh, here goes Afro. Here goes Alex Afro. Sorry to interrupt you there, Dan, but he's breezed past Angel vs Death, and here comes Cena. Cena is up into P3. Absolutely ecstatic stuff from the Red Bull driver, and Alex Afro isn't going to let this one go. And Michael Kenny spun. No, disaster for the Williams driver. The standout hero of qualifying is sent spinning to the back of the order, and this battle for P3 is still raging on.
Cena just had an unbelievable amount of overspeed as he was coming down the start-finish right there, and he got ahead, but he's gone way too wide there into turn 4, and it's going to allow Alex Afro to come back at him. Surely he's not going to go for moving his right-hander. He will. Oh, wow, that's sick. Is almost there to play in accident territory, but he's made it work somehow. Cena goes wide, and Alex Afro makes a brilliant overtake. Again, he made a great move last weekend, Austin.
Bazza's gone! Bazza's gone. Unbelievable. He spent more time backwards this evening than he has facing the right way. I was about to say the same about Cena. He spent more time off the track than he has on it in this race. But disaster for Bazza as he sent spinning and tumbling to the back of the field.
It's a disaster for Bazza then, isn't it? And Magic Pooh Cannon 1.5 seconds clear of Chris Johnson already at this stage of the race. Jacko and Dom are still back. In fact, Dom spun at Jun Zhao, and now he's also going to go right to the very back to join Bazza as well. And we have
got a safety car. Oh, are we going to see any drivers towards the back able to pit? Yes, we have. We have Joe Sayer. Just about got it in time, Dan.
Well,
wow.
I'll tell you what, this could be fantastic. So
and Angel versus Steph got into the pits as well. Get in. Go on, Michael. Go on, Michael. Dom's been saved, as has Bazza. Gosh. Wow.
Yeah, Kaya as well will also come in then. Ferraris are going to have to queue, of course. And look at that. Joe Sayer's already made a stop then. We'll be on medium tyres for the rest of the race. And all the guys ahead will still have to pit.
And that was all caused, unseen by us, of course, by a crash for Sir Tom Penguin coming up the hill. He was obviously mid-pack, so hence why that's came at sort of the wrong time for the leaders who had already passed the pit lane. Joe Sayer had to scramble across the excess tarmac there, Dan. Are we going to see any of the front runners come into to pit this lap, I wonder? They've got sort of half a lap advantage over the rest of the pack. It could work.
Yeah, that's a good point, isn't it? Surely we'll see at least one of the, 12 drivers who were all past the pit lane there at that stage where the safety car was called. Surely at least one of them's going to come in. I wonder if Chris Johnson will fancy
here we go.
And
here we go.
Poop Cannon's coming in. And so is Chris Johnson. Is Alex Afro going to stay out? I wonder. Oh,
no.
Did Chris Johnson just hit Magic Poop Cannon?
I didn't see. There is some front wing actually on the entry to the pit lane. I think he must have done. Blown wheel nut has stayed out.
Yeah, he changed his front wing.
Oh,
Chris Johnson's having to change his front wing. Wow.
Where's Sayer Sports? Sayer Sports is just at Jung Chao coming up the hill. And yeah, Poop Cannon's miles ahead. Look at that.
Yeah, he's going to, and Sayer Sports going to have to adhere to the delta that it looks like he's still getting on his screen as well. So all the drivers are filing out the pit lane then, the guys who pitted. Chris Johnson had to change his front wing. So he is dropped behind Cena and Alex Afro at this stage then.
Yeah, so they might not going to jumped maybe one or two cars, the likes of Sayer Sports. I mean, it's really helped out for Dom more than anything. I mean, he's going to come out. Is he going to be ahead of Jacko? Yes, he is. So he's going to be 12th on the road. And we've got the top 4 who haven't pitted. So effectively, Dom's a net P8 now. So it has helped him out. Baz is still down in 17th.
Yeah, I think Dom was battling with Jacko as well at the time of the spin, wasn't he? So big get out of jail card for Dom then, and he will be absolutely loving the fact that he's just got out ahead of Jacko there for that restart. So it's Blown Wheel Nut in the lead of this race then. Stereogram in second, Parser third, Indecisive fourth. They're the 4 who did not pit.
Unbelievably, we have on the grid, of course, and on the run down to turn 1, we had an Alfa Romeo leading a Williams. As we come to the end of lap 4, we have an Alfa Romeo leading a Williams, but it wasn't the 2 that were on the front row. What a season this is being for TGP2. Absolutely great stuff.
We had Cena up into 3rd place at one stage as well, didn't we? And now it's the other Red Bull.
Of course.
Sports has it, and Sayer Sports has left the session, and Parser is actually now pitting at this stage.
I don't get that from Parser. There's a lot of things I don't get that he does, including his continuous qualifying laps on the same tyre. He's quick. He's quick, Parser, but I think there's a few elements of his racing he needs to take a look at. Joe Sayer, fortunately for him, obviously leaving at this point, he shouldn't lose any positions. If he's able to rejoin in again quick enough, he should remain in P10. He's probably got about a minute and a half before the safety car lights go out.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
And he can get going again. So Parser's down in 17th. If he had pitted last lap when everyone else did, I mean, I know that Cena pitted. No, he didn't. Yeah. No, Cena did pit. But he probably would have been, what, around where Dom was, because there was a big gap from where those guys came out to where the rest of them. So he probably would have been about 12th at this point, and he's down in 7th. I don't understand that. Don't understand that.
Yeah, well, with the beauty there. So it's just Stereogram then in 2nd place. He's the only driver on the field on the soft tyres at this stage. Then he will be hoping for another safety car a little bit down the road. And we've got Jacko, Red Bull Kim, and Kaya on the hard tyres. Everybody else on the mediums. Top 3 still yet to pit, and I think we're going to get going again on this lap.
I think we should do, and we're going to have a very interesting run. Magic Poo Cannon, then P4 is a net lead in this race with Alex Afro a net P2 and Cena a net P3. The safety car lights are out, and it's now up to Daniel Price. Is this the first race he's ever led?
I believe so. Yeah,
I think it could be.
Yeah.
And obviously, we could still get rain in this race, could we?
Yeah, I believe it's a dry race. Dry race. But,
okay.
This is a difficult track to judge a safety car restart on, isn't it? Because of the length of the straight. And he's going to have to time this perfectly because Stereogram indecisive will be waiting. And there you go. Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, look at Magic Poo Cannon's not really got away very well, though. And Alex Afro's got a great chance coming into turn number 1 to take the net lead of this race. And Cena's going to try around the outside, is he? Of Alex Afro. He looks at it and he's going to try and hold on. He's going to keep his nose in there. And he shouldn't have. He really shouldn't have kept his nose in there. That gap was always going to go. And Magic Poo Cannon's now got a great chance to get past Indecisive Mackie on the run down to turn number 4.
And I think he's going to do it. Is he as Afro? Is he going to be late on the brakes? Is he going to nearly hit the back of Indecisive there? Magic Poo kind of makes the move then. Dom's up to 8th place already on this restart. Great restart for Dom. Right on Mr. John. Chris Johnson still in 6th place. And I think Cena tried to get a bit of revenge on Alex Afro for that move he made on him earlier, and it did not work.
Oh, and Mackie's gone wide. Mackie's gone wide. It's going to give Alex Afro a chance. And Stereogram leads the race, unseen by us. There's a change for the lead.
Oh. He does indeed. Stereogram leads. Fantastic stuff. I've done this. Must be the first time he's led a race in TGP2. Of course, he's still got a pit, but he is in the lead of the race. And who's that battling? Is that Chris Johnson?
Chris Johnson and Indecisive Mackie.
Indecisive.
Yep, Chris Johnson and Mackie as they come up the hill again. You're right, actually, Dan. Dom up in P8 is fantastic for him. Really making up some ground as Blown Wheel Nut retakes the lead as Stereogram and Magic Poo Cannon's getting involved as well. This looks... Oh, Daniel Price pushing his teammate off the track there.
Well, if Magic Poo Cannon going to go round the outside, he's having to make the move stick and he's not being let through easily. And there he goes. He goes through Magic Poo Cannon into the lead then. Meanwhile, further behind, they're all trying to get into position here. Chris Johnson still in 6th place. Can't get past Indecisive.
Yep, here we go then. Run down to turn number 4. Stereogram and Blown Wheel Nut. And Stereogram holds on to P2 for now.
Dom's going for Chris Johnson for 6th place. He's going to make the cross. He's off. He's round again. Oh dear. He went for the move on Chris Johnson and he's facing backwards again. And there's a car on. Big crash.
It's Blown Wheel Nut and it's Indecisive Mackie. And we've got a virtual safety car. And that looked like a big incident actually. Mr. John has picked up a penalty as well for an incident with Chris Johnson.
Yeah, that was an absolutely huge crash. It was
massive.
Blown Wheel Nut was just facing across the track there, rejoining the circuit. Somehow he went off, hit the brake marker boards, and Indecisive just drove into him. Obviously had nowhere to go. I think in any other situation that would be a real safety car, but here on the game, it's only a virtual one. And Chris Johnson up into 4th, and Alex Afro 3rd. And I can't believe Dom spun again there just before that safety car.
Well, what we've seen so far is Dom spins and we get a virtual or a full safety car. It's going to be a good time for Stereogram to pit. I don't know if he no, he hasn't. Oh, and here we go. We're back going again. Caught me a little bit by surprise there.
And I think Dom would have quite liked another full safety car there, wouldn't he, at that stage?
Yeah.
But sadly for him, it's not happened, although did allow him to sort of reorganise himself, I suppose. Stereogram closing in on Magic Poo Cannon again. He take back the lead, but he can't do it. Chris Johnson in 4th at this stage then, and he knows that his title rival is leading this race. Bazza in 7th.
Yeah, I just turned my attention to Bazza there actually. He's right behind Mr. John at the moment. Michael Kenny making up a bit of ground as well now after his spin on lap number 2 is Bazza up the inside of Mr. John as we head into the middle sector. And Bazza gets the moves up. It looks like John has some damage actually by the looks of it. Yes, he does, which might have been why he got that 5-second penalty for the collision with Chris Johnson, of course.
Yeah, so did John maybe hit Chris Johnson as they were reacting to the virtual safety car? Perhaps that's would be my assumption of what possibly could have happened there. But again, Bazza was sprinting early in the race, wasn't he? And again, he's in a fairly decent position, I suppose, now in that 6th place.
Yeah, absolutely. Down in 12th, Cena down just behind him as well. Dom just made up a position on Breezer, who spun. Cena right behind Dom Smith with DRS as well. Thanks to the virtual safety car, DRS back going again relatively early. Are we going to see a change of position for P11? Not quite. Obviously, these two with history, Dom and Cena, as Dom picks up a penalty. These two have had a few close encounters, shall we say, Dan, so far this season already, as Cena up the inside of Dom Smith into turn number 4, late on the brakes. A little bit of contact, a little bit of rubbins racing there, you have to say. Dom Smith holding on round the outside. It's a good little battle.
Brilliant stuff there, Dom. Their days ahead, and it's Alpha Tauri versus Red Bull as Jacko goes round the outside of the parter, and Alex Afro and Stereogram battling for second place. Remember, Stereogram still yet to pit in this Grand Prix, in this race, and it's going to be second place for Alex Afro. Chris Johnson's got to try and get past Stereogram ASAP because Magic Poop Cannon is flying out ahead.
Yeah, it could be 2 wins on, could be a second win in a row for Magic Poop Cannon as things stand at the moment. Pulling streaks ahead, but Alex Afro needs to get his head down now. Chris Johnson then with the DRS. Abs Blair Grills behind. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2. I think Kaya's off.
It's Kaya.
And into turn number 1 then. Chris Johnson late on the brakes. Stereogram tries to hold on as much as he can, but his soft tyres are crying for mercy. And look at Blair Grills.
Yeah, Blair Grills again. He's having a great night, isn't he, tonight? So he's going to get past Stereogram as well. But fair play to Stereogram for a good defensive driving, considering the state his tyres must be in at this stage. 9 laps on those soft tyres as their partner and Jacko are also still battling. There's action all through the field here, apart from in the lead, where Magic Pukan is 3.6 seconds ahead now.
Cena did in second. In the end, interestingly, Dan, make his way past Dom. So Dom now down in 12th place. The two of them starting to catch Michael Kenny, who in turn is dropping off the back of the Jacko Parza John fight, as Bazza's now gapped himself a little bit to those as well in his pursuit of a top 5 finish. Good, it's still going to be good point scoring at the moment for Mercedes, you have to say, with both their cars effectively running in the top 5, Dan.
So let's see if Chris Johnson then, with the DRS, if he can close in on Alex Afro. Alex Afro is running incredibly low on ERS, and Chris Johnson isn't actually using any overtake at this stage. Probably thinks he's a bit too far back for it, and we will get very close though still to Alex Afro, and it's all about damage limitation now, I suppose, for Chris Johnson this race, and trying to just prevent as many points as possible from gaining from Magic Poop Cannon.
Yep, Chris Johnson then riding on board with the Mercedes driver. Head towards the end of Sector 1 then, still in the wheel tracks of Alex Afro. Blair Grills keeping within touching distance as well as Bazza, and now all over the back of the Williams of Stereogram. Are we going to see a move for P5 as we head towards the end of the second sector? Stereogram staying out a long time in these soft tyres, I have to say. Perhaps he should have pitted a little bit earlier when he was further up the running order. Wouldn't have lost himself so much time.
I think it would have probably been best for him to pit during that virtual safety car, wouldn't it? Would have been the ideal time for Stereogram.
He's really struggling now. Look at him go. Bazza just eases past, just on the exit of the corner. Stereogram with no grip left in his tyres, it seems.
Yeah, sure, he's going to have to come in a moment. Meanwhile, Chris Johnson is using overtake this time, and this time he thinks he might be able to get second place on Alex Afro in this race. It's 26 points between Magic Poop and Chris Johnson, remember, so if he can minimise the point advances Magic Poop will gain again for this race, that would be good for him. Still can't make it move though, as they look at the two racing points going side by side there. Jacko goes ahead of Mr. John.
Yeah, Mr. John still with that damage from wing, of course. Not ideal for him. Obviously was running as high as 5th at one point in this race. That's Chris Johnson all over the back of Alex Afro, almost changing gear for him at the moment, down as we have a yellow flag in sector 2 as we got Kaya and Joe Sayer embroiled in the battle, it seems, as Stereogram finally did pit and drops down to 13th place.
He does indeed, and Stereogram, I'll tell you what, I wonder if Stereogram could maybe steal the fastest lap there. Oh no, of course, because on the soft tyres, so he gone onto the medium, so it might be a bit difficult for him. Chris Johnson is still so close to Alex Afro now, and Alex Afro is really going to have to defend this time round.
Chris Johnson drifting the exit of that corner down. I don't know if you saw it, just on the ragged edge, doing everything he can to try and get up into P2. He can see his main title rival extending into the distance, and unfortunately for Chris Johnson now, he can see his immediate rival extending into the distance, and he didn't get a good run up that hill, whereas Blair Grills and Alex Afro did. Yeah,
Alex Afro seems to have great traction out of the corners, doesn't he? I noticed this in the last corner in Spain as well.
Actually. Yeah.
And it just flies way out ahead and makes it very difficult for Chris Johnson. And as you say, if anything, he's actually coming under threat now from Blair Grills, who's looking to take 2 podiums in one night.
Yeah, meanwhile, a little bit further back, we've got Cena and Dom all over the back of Mr. John, and I think this could be like taking... Oh, John's not making it easy, actually. I was about to say it was like taking candy from a baby, but it didn't look like it in the end. John rubbing wheels with the Red Bull driver. Maybe Dom's giving him the order, and Mr. John holds on for the moment, and Dom's getting racy again now. Here we go.
He's going to go for Mr. John as well, is he? Oh, no, he does not. Cena might try and still go round here. No, he's going to be side by side with Mr. John. Can he make 2 positions up in a space of about 3 corners for Dom? Mr. John goes wide, and then Dom surely has it complete now, doesn't he? Oh, Mr. John tries to hang in there, but there is moves complete, and it's 8th place for Dom.
Yeah, Dom making up 2 positions in a few more corners.
This is Chris Johnson's chance now.
Yeah, absolutely. Here he is, right in the wheel tracks as Magic Poop Cannon sets the fastest lap up ahead. Alex Zafra will be draining his battery towards turn number 1, and Chris Johnson around the outside. Can't get the move done, but he has to keep onto it into turn number 2. Gets the switch back and gets P2.
But he's going to go exit. Look at Alex's exit. He's going to go round the outside, and will he get DRS? He will. He's going to get him back here, I think, Mike.
Yeah, I think he might do. Chris Johnson holds onto the inside line as best he can. Is Alex Afro going to be brave round the outside like we saw Dom Smith do? No, he can't. And it looks like for the moment, at least, Chris Johnson has got P2 and made it his own.
Really good defensive driving there from Chris Johnson. And it's 4-5 seconds, the gap now to the lead. Oh, Alex Afro had to be was late on the brakes there and just gave Chris Johnson a little off tap. But no sort of spinning round or anything made. Alex Afro is still there. He's still right there on Chris Johnson. Oh, he might still be within DRS to have a go at down the straight here, you know.
Yeah, he might be. Cena's still stuck behind Mr. John, though, further back. The Red Bull driver really not having good fun of it at the moment. And are we going to see one of Alex Afro's famous exits? I tell you what, look at how well he gets off the corners, Dan. It's absolutely great stuff.
Yeah, and there we go. He's going to be in a slipstream, and Chris Johnson is not using overtake, and Alex Afro is closing in, and he's going to go for the inside. See, this would be a brilliant move, but there's not enough space in the end, and he had to back out of it. It was a good effort, though, and is that car ahead of him? They're going to be enough to give DRS for Chris Johnson? It won't be. Alex Afro will have DRS once again, but I don't think he's going to be able to make any significant impact down the straight. No, he does not.
Unbelievably, that was Stereogram. You might remember Stereogram was in this.
It was, battle. Yeah.
Oh, Alex Afro! Oh, Jesus wept. I was on board with the Renault driver there. I don't know how he kept that out of the wall, Dan. That was fantastic car control.
And it's actually allowed Blair Grills to close in a little bit more. But look at the gap at the front. Suddenly, that was 4.9 seconds a couple of laps ago. As maybe we kind of made an error, because it's down to 2.9.
Yeah, Magic Poop Cannon slipping into the clutches of Chris Johnson. There's only 3 and a bit laps to go left of this one after we complete lap number 15. Blair Grills picks up a 3-second penalty, which pretty much ruins his chances of a podium. Sorry, I had to pause things. I just heard I think it was our cat sneezing. Alex Afro then with DRS again on the run out to turn 1, a little bit too far back this time. Does Magic Poop Cannon still have the fastest lap, Dan? Let's have a look.
I believe he does, yes, but just looking now, Cena and Mr. John once again here. They've been at it all race, really, haven't they? Mr. John's still got that damage, and Cena, is he now going to try and go around the outside to make the move on Mr. John? I bet Mr. John will go late on the brakes. Oh, and Cena's just got through, and this time Cena just gets the move complete.
Yeah, that was a bit rude there from John, you have to say, but he doesn't like to make it easy for anyone overtaking him, and he certainly kept up that tradition there. And you're right, the second and third, Chris Johnson and Alex Afro still closing in on Magic Poop Cannon. Dan, this one isn't over yet.
Is Magic Poop Cannon just taking it easy, or is he really struggling at this stage?
He's got a lot of battery left. He must be taking it easy. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, that's a good point. He has got a lot of battery left. You know what? He might even be just teasing us completely, and he's just backing it off a little bit, and then suddenly he's going to pump in a Lewis Hamilton style fastest lap on the final lap or something here, because yeah, he's got so much battery left. And Alex Afro, he has got DRS. He's not using it though on my screen right now at this stage. He could have done, so he closed in a little bit more on Chris Johnson. Blair Grills has fell back a bit though this time round, and in fact Bazza is putting Blair Grills under threat now, and these two both have penalties.
Jacko, obviously within penalty range of Parza, so would jump up to P6 at the moment. and Cena within penalty range of Dom Smith as well, so there could be, only just, so there could be a couple of changes for positions there. But Bazza starting to put a lot of pressure on Blair Grills.
It's going to be close, I think, between Dom and Cena possibly for the penalties at the end here, and Dom will be absolutely desperate to keep hold of that 8th place. It's going to be so close, as you say. Look at that, at the minute 2.9 and staying around that. So close there. Just Johnson 2.2 now behind us.
Oh, Blair Grills, all squirrely, and Bazza's up the inside, and the move's done, and it didn't take much in the end. And unfortunately for Blair Grills, just got a little bit squirrely on the run down.
Will Blair Grills get DRS now?
I think he will. Yeah.
He will, and we'll see if he can close in any more then.
One lap to go,
very low
well.
overtake. On the final lap, is Blair Grills going to try and get this back on Bazza? He does not go for it, and he might be able to have a go into turn 4 though. Mike, no, probably not, because Bazza had a great run through the first 2 corners.
Yeah, Blair Grills, I think he's just used up too much of his tyres, I'm afraid, for him, because he hasn't been able to close up on Bazza, and that has given the Mercedes driver P4. Cena picks up a penalty, so that's Dom's 8th place safe.
It is indeed. A lap then, and it looks like Magic Buchanan is going to take both race wins tonight. The first night this season that Chris Johnson has not won a race.
No,
and Magic Buchanan will close in a little bit more.
Yeah, obviously a faster lap as well. Magic Buchanan would have extended would have closed in the gap by 23 points, a cumulative total, I think. Am I wrong, Dan? With the race wins he's had, but it's a dominant night from the Alfa Romeo driver. 2 poles and 2 wins. Good stuff, and he did get fastest lap on the last lap. So brilliant driving from the Alfa Romeo driver. The Estonian comfortably takes the win in the end. I forgot about Bazza actually had a 5-second penalty, didn't he? So he did drop behind Blair Grills in the end. So it wasn't necessary. Alex Afro rounds out the podium. Good race for him, actually, on reflection in P3. He probably would have hoped to have been P2. Further down, we had Parza, who was P8. So Dom actually made up a position, actually, on Parza.
Yeah, Dom got ahead of both the Red Bulls in the end. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Angel vs. Death finished 10th after such an amazing qualifying.
Oh, that spin on lap 2. It sort of broke me inside a little bit, actually. I would love to have seen Michael Kenny up here racing here. Dom Smith, driver of the day, and Dan, for another night at least, my record's intact.
It is indeed, yes. Dom had hopes for Brazil as well, didn't he? But I think that invalidation in the qualifying didn't help, and then he had the spin, and he recovered with the safety car, and making great progress, wasn't he? And then sadly was round again, and it's as kept your record still going. You're still a go to TGP2, Mike. Yeah.
Well, I always knew I was, but it's nice to have the sort of recognition to go with it as well. Well, what a great night of racing we've been able to enjoy. I'd say that of the 2 races, actually, unbelievably, Spain was probably only just the more interesting of the 2, and I never thought I'd say that ever. But I'm not saying that Brazil wasn't, because it was a great race nonetheless. But there you go, your final rundown of the order there. Magic Buchanan takes his 2nd win of the night and the fastest lap as well. Chris Johnson still the championship leader, but that gap slashed by over half in the end. Actually, Alex Afro.
Yeah, it's down to. Sorry, Mike, go on.
No, carry on.
Yeah, it's 18 points now, I believe, the gap. It's 181 against 163. So he went into the night with it being 41 points. Yeah. Now it is 18. So suddenly it looks like this championship is right back on again.
Yep, Chris Johnson going to have to be looking over his shoulder a little bit now, it seems. Blair Grills ending up P4, Bazza in P5, Jacko P6, Dom Smith in P7. He would have liked more than that. Parza in P8, Cena P9, Angel vs. Death rounding out the top 10, Mr. John 11th, Red Bull Kim 12th, Stereogram 13th, Stereo Sports 14th, Kaya then in 15th, Breezer 16th, Mackie 17th, Blown Wheel Nut in 18th, and it did not finish, as well as Tom Penguin, and we had a few that did not finish in the end there, actually, more than I thought we did, but obviously with that big accident, didn't we? On lap number 7?
Something like that, yeah. Something like that.
Well, there we go. Dan, I'm going to ask you then, so your driver of the night tonight, who takes that one?
It's got to be Magic Pip Cannon, hasn't he? I have to say he's done so well. Took both of the race victories, but definitely a shout out to Blair Girls as well. 2 solid drives from him, and 4th place, and then a podium, of course, earlier in Spain. Also,
yeah, good stuff. I have to agree with you actually. Magic Poop Cannon, I'd say, my driver of the night too. What a fascinating evening we've had. 2 very good races, as we said, and we've got this championship is hotting up. And it seems like it's only going to get better, I have to say. Magic Poop Cannon finding some form, clawing back in the advantage that Chris Johnson's been able to build up. And as you said, the first night that we've had so far this season where Chris Johnson hasn't won a race. Magic Poop Cannon, that was his 4th win as well tonight. And those 2 have dominated the wins so far this season. So next week we're going to North America. Now we're taking the short trip up from Brazil. We're going to be in Mexico and Canada. Dan, you're going to be joined in the commentary box again by Andy, of course.
yeah.
Yeah, what a fantastic evening we've had. Well, Dan, thank you. Any last words from you before we sign off?
No, just another 2 very good races once we eventually got going in Spain, and it's good, certainly from a neutral point of view, it's good that, to have the championship closed up a little bit at the top.
Yeah, really good stuff. Good stuff. Well, thank you all for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the races just as much as we did. This has been a TGP Series production with Mike Noon and Dan the Man. We look forward to seeing you next week in North America.